In 2009, I put a man in prison after he murdered a woman and buried her in the backyard. A couple of days ago, I received a message letting me know that he is being released. My family has put up enough money to get a lawyer to have a murderer released from prison after only 12 years of a life sentence. This man was supposed to get the death penalty. The woman he murdered was handicapped and pregnant. He was supposed to be on death row. And it was his second offense. It wasn't the first thing he had ever done. Years before, he had gotten in trouble with a child sexually. He was a predator. And so, and they've been contacting him. I've known this was coming since last year. They told me they were trying to get in touch with him so that they could help him get released. This is why they're putting out all of this information that's fake about me. Because they want it to go to court and they want it to be retried looking at me as the actual perpetrator of the crime. And they're using evidence of my mental health issues while I've been homeless for the last 5 years to prove that I obviously am capable of doing terrible things. But even the last 5 years being homeless and being unmedicated and being insane on the streets of Los Angeles, I have never killed anybody. Ever. I've never attacked anybody. There is zero evidence that I'm this violent murderer. But I am mentally unwell and I am diagnosed, and they use those diagnoses to paint you as a violent, dangerous person. Just like they've got my aunt lying and saying that I was such a dangerous person, her family was afraid for me to be alone with her for fear of what I would do to her. Kathy's never been afraid to be in a room with me. She's never had a reason to be afraid to be alone with me. Nobody in this family has a reason to be afraid to be alone with me. But that's what they're saying because they're getting up enough evidence to try to prove that I'm the dangerous one. The man they are getting released from prison confessed to what he did multiple times. He confessed. He pled that it was him. Full accountability. So why would they be working to get him out of prison? The only reason would be so that he would hurt me. Because if you put a man in prison for 12 years, the first thing he's doing when he gets out is looking for you. My family and my abusers and my stalkers have been grasping at straws to shut me up about what they have done to me. And they realize that the only way to shut me up is to have me killed. And the only person they know that would kill me happens to already be in prison for a murder that I turned him in for. So to get rid of me, they have to release him back to the streets. And they know they know that he'll come here, he'll kill me, and then he'll get arrested again. They're not doing it because they want him to have a third chance at freedom. They're doing it because they need me silenced, and none of them can do anything themselves because they've threatened, they've harassed, they've intimidated, they've stalked, they've pushed. And I'm still here documenting every step of the abuse. And I'm not going to be going away until I can't be here anymore. So when y'all tell me that I have no reason to be having this breakdown, even though I'm currently unmedicated, I have no reason to be upset. I have no reason to need marijuana to calm me down or to be having suicidal thoughts or to be having these issues. If you were severely mentally unwell and unmedicated and waiting for a man you put in prison for murder to be released any day, you would be under a fuckload of anxiety. I don't care that you don't understand because you're not in that position. If you were in my position, you would understand. It's not a game. It's not a grift or a scam. The breakdown yesterday wasn't because I didn't have weed. It was because I didn't have my medication and because I've been being stalked and harassed for over a year, and they are releasing a murderer that I put in prison back to the streets to kill me. And this is a thought that comes on me randomly and just destroys me. And yesterday I was fine and then I wasn't. And that's how fucking fast PTSD breakdowns can come on. 1 minute I'm fine and the next minute I'm sure that I'm going to be dead within the next couple of minutes. That if I don't kill myself, it's going to hurt more. You don't understand because you don't believe what I've been through. Even though I've been saying it and showing it every day. I have every right to be afraid for my life, every minute of my life right now, because they are releasing a murderer from prison so that he can kill me. That is a valid reason to be terrified. A valid one. He was not supposed to be getting out now. He was supposed to be at least another 20 years before it was possible. He was in there with no possibility of parole. They wanted death. The judge gave him life, no parole, no possibility. And now just 12 years later, because my fucking moneybags aunt has to have me shut up. You know, she got over $500,000 by getting rid of that will, and now she needs me to stop talking about it. So she's fine spending as much money as she has to get that man out of prison. And the people that are stalking me and harassing me, they follow me around taking pictures of me on the street. You can't tell me that they're not stalking me and they say, well, we're not doing that. We just said we were doing that. Well, if you said you were doing it, then you're probably doing it, because why would you say you were doing that if you weren't doing it? Why would you tell a schizophrenic woman that you were following her and taking pictures of her if you did not want her to believe that was happening? Why would you tell a schizophrenic woman that you were releasing a murderer from prison if you didn't want them to believe that was happening? Why would you tell why would you tell me these things if you did not believe that they were actually going to happen? You would not. You're telling me these things because you know that they're going to happen, because you're doing everything you can to make them happen, and I am the one that is in danger because of it, and nobody will ever understand.